In July 2011, a team of Monash art students went to Saigon for the In Search of Study trip. And now, a trio of similar students will embark on a journey to retrace their footsteps and rediscover Saigon.
And now we're at Mai Vai Hotel. It was the hotel that the 2011 ISO trip to Saigon used. So Anna, where are we going after this?
We're going for a walkabout somewhere.
Having unpacked, we set off for a walkabout to explore districts 1 and 3 of Saigon. Our first stop was Bentan Market.
So we've come out for lunch and now we're in Bentan Market, which was highly recommended, and we're here to get food and souvenirs. It's really pretty.
Alright, Franklin, what are we having?
Barbecue.
We then visited the Fine Arts Museum.
So we're now in the Ho Chi Minh Art Museum. As you can see around us, there's a whole bunch of art all around. I think they're made by Vietnamese artists. But at the moment we're in the modern paintings after 1975. We don't want beauty and the beast.
We had then planned to visit Saigon Skydeck, but changed our minds after seeing the price, and opted instead to visit the riverside.
Alright, so we are at Saigon River. As you can see, it's quite polluted. A lot of beer advertisements in Vietnam, I noticed.
Our next stop was City Hall, but on the way, we walked into something more interesting.
We seem to have walked in on a Pride festival. I think it's sponsored by Grab and Uber. It's great. I'm so excited. It'll be my first time seeing anything that's openly supportive of the LGBTQ community.
So here's I think around the 5th or 6th Viet Pride. It's the annual LGBTI event that is helping to raise awareness about the LGBTI community here and in an organization. And this is a 3-day, 4-day event with a lot of different activities, all culminating in this wonderful display of artistic flair and whatnot that celebrates the gay community here in Vietnam.
We then passed by an old cathedral. Last, we stopped by a park in front of Ho Chi Minh City Museum before walking back to the hotel. It was the end of a long day.
Alright, so where are we heading to today? We're going to the Chu Chi tunnels in the morning, but right now we're getting banh mi. How is it? It's actually really good.
The Chu Chi tunnels were a network of underground tunnels used by the Viet Cong guerrilla forces during the Vietnam War. On the way to Chu Chi tunnels, we stopped by Handicap Handicraft.
Hi, so we're here at Handicapped Handicrafts. So we stopped here on our way to Chu Chi tunnels. So basically what happens here is they employ victims of Agent Orange that have lost a limb or are differently abled in some way. And they employ them to make souvenirs, like all the trinkets that we see in the markets and stuff like that. And it's very empowering for them because they've suffered traumatically and now they have jobs to help them get back on their feet and make a living.
An hour later, we finally arrived. Our tour package included demonstrations on life in the tunnels, including its size, booby traps, and a short tunnel crawl.
And they make the hole very small and very narrow because they make this size for Củ Chi gorillas. Because in the war, gorillas they cannot have enough food for eating. Yeah, no enough vitamin, so their body very small, look like model. Okay. That's pretty damn well hidden. You look like gorillas already, right? Okay, next please. Outside, they cover the leaf outside. Leaf or garbage outside the center. But of course, after the leader fell down, the second person also fell out of the job by themselves. Now we have look like crocodile's mouth. They try to keep the door open, them. You know, at a time, the door trap will run down right really quick now. Right. And we'll get stuck. The upper part of the trap will get stuck to their body.
So as you can see here, it's actually the entrance to the Chu Chi tunnels. So we'll see you on the other side.
Having completed our tour, we returned to Saigon to take a rest before finding dinner. But not before Franklin demonstrated how he crawled in the tunnels.
What I did was this, and then shuffle. Well, that way it was easier. Y'all idiot.
Do it again.
Shuffle. You know?
At night, we decided to explore Saigon's nightlife. Bentan Market. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I just got a random dessert from some lady we saw on the street.
It's Vietnamese fire silk on the street.
So we bought this little game because we saw it. They're actually playing it right now over there. That's how we saw it. It's called Takao. It's kind of like our Sepak Takraw, but it's a lot smaller. It's more like a shuttlecock.
And how do you play it? Whoa!
Okay, we're at the Note Cafe, which is a very cute, great cafe here in Bui Vien Street. It's really happening, like there's so many people out. So it's been a really good day. After Chu Chi, we came back and rested for a bit, and a lot has happened since 6 p.m. It's 10 now. When the boys woke up, I burrito rolled them into blankets mostly against their will, but I mean Norman looked pretty cozy, and now we're here. And Norman Sandal broke, and we met some really interesting people and talked to them for a bit.
We began the day with a quick breakfast and had a chat with Miss Vi.
6 years ago, Monash University, they came with a group with meet Dr. Yo. They came here. They're very friendly, funny. They make good joke. Yeah, and we can talk each other and share everything together.
This day was dedicated to historical exploration of Saigon, and we began with the Ho Chi Minh City Museum.
So hi, we're now at the Ho Chi Minh City Museum, and we just got in. We haven't gone in yet. According to the pamphlet they gave us, there's actually quite a lot of propaganda, which we noticed the prevalence of in the city. And according to the pamphlet, it was created by this French architect called Fulot. And it was a commercial museum at first, but it became the governor's palace for quite a bit. So we'll let you know.
Also known as Jia Long Palace, this was a museum dedicated to the city's history. The lower floor of the main building had an exhibit on the city's economic development and national geography, while the entire upper floor was dedicated to the struggle for independence. And indeed, much of the imagery and museum labels here had a strong political slant. Our second stop was the highly recommended War Remnants Museum. On the way, we chanced upon a street-side coffee stall, so we tried the iconic Vietnamese drip coffee. That's very sweet.
That's what tanks are for.
The highlights of the War Remnants Museum were the Requiem exhibition and War Atrocities exhibition, photographic exhibits of the Vietnam War that commemorates the photojournalists who risked their lives and died to capture the war. The room, although crowded, is silent from the immersiveness of the storytelling.
That's alright. I'm so sad too.
The last notable exhibit is the replica POW prison that displayed the tortures conducted on the Viet Cong.
So we're now at the imprisonment system during the Vietnam War exhibition. Basically, it's like a model of what the prison system was, and it's really quite gruesome. And
At night, we dine with some more street food.
So we're at Hong Yen, street side stall. They specialize in this dish called...
I lost the menu.
I forgot the name of the dish.
Then went back home early in preparation for the next day. On our second last day in Saigon, we went on a day tour to Kai Ba to explore the Mekong Delta. Much of this exploring was done from a boat.
Welcome to the Mekong River. We got have on Nile River. Yeah, go to the sea. That's why they call Cửu Long.
We first passed by a small floating market. This market was, however, different in that these boats were larger and served as homes. Most boats only sold one product, as indicated by a sample hung on a long antenna attached to the boat.
You see over there? Computer. So they sell computer.
Our first stop was a small-scale food factory that demonstrated the production of rice paper and pop rice, among other things. We then boarded a canoe for a relaxing cruise on the way to lunch.
Alright, where are we? I have no idea.
Okay, great.
We had lunch in a small homestay and tried fried fish spring rolls for the first time. We had a little surprise on the way out.
This is Hannah, standing on a chair. Look at that thing. Massive.
After a quick cycle back to the boat, our last stop was an old and exotic Vietnamese house, where we were treated to a live traditional music performance. After that, it was the end of the tour.
You don't need to get this whole fish farm. If that's the case, then just get the fish farms for the villagers who really care about the people.
But you still need the dam for electricity.
But electricity, no. There's the light bulb to a rope.
It was raining when we arrived in Saigon, but we still bought some souvenirs first. We freshened up, then two of us set off for dinner.
Me and Hannah are in the Oriza restaurant. Franklin is sick, so he couldn't join us, but we will be bringing food back for him. Tomorrow we'll be flying back at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and I think so far it's been an amazing trip.
We woke up on our last day feeling rather under the weather. Nevertheless, we walked around Pham Ngo Lao Road one last time before leaving for the airport. It was time to go back. So, what has been your favorite food?
I think my favorite food would probably be the thing that I ate the most in Vietnam, which is banh mi. Probably because it's cheap and it's hella good.
Well, there's a two-part answer to this question. My favorite food, as it was back in 2012, is still spring rolls. But my favorite meal was the very first one we had in Ben Thanh Market, which is the, I think, barbecue pork noodles and that had spring rolls too.
I would say is the very first meal we had in Vietnam. It was in Ben Thanh Market. There were these pork noodles. They were just excellent. What has been your most memorable activity?
I think my most memorable activity would be the Chu Chi tunnels, because it's interesting to see what people would do and what lengths they would take just to help their country.
I don't know, it's not really an activity, but just walking around town also will just stick with me, because when I feel like when I look back at this in 5-10 years, I'll remember the feeling of walking down the Vietnamese streets and just seeing new sights, definitely.
I would say it's also the War Remnants Museum. Something about seeing all those photos and the captions of all of them. It's just really, really emotional. What are the funny moments that happen on the
I
street?
think the funniest moment was when we were in the hotel and we were watching Pocahontas, and Norman made a really lewd comment.
I think the funniest would be this one time we went to a street side stop. I was trying to order coffee for Hannah. And I told the waiter, do you have coffee? He just goes, he's Vietnamese, he just goes, huh? So I tried to be culture appropriate. I tried to speak in Vietnamese. I go, cafe? He still goes, huh? And desperately I tried one more time. Coffee? It's like, no.
Everything was funny. I laughed so much during this trip, which is also something that I hope to remember 5 years down, is just the amount of laughter I laughed.
It has been an enriching 5 days in Saigon. We have come to understand Saigon as a city defined by war. Today, Vietnam can be proud for its syncretic culture and being the most LGBT progressive country in Southeast Asia. Saigon still has many issues to overcome, but for now, we can at least appreciate this much. Goodbye, and see you again, Saigon.